Can you imagine having it all? Not just fame or fortune. We're talking dream mansions, luxury cars that look like spaceships, and non-stop trips to exotic destinations. But what if I told you that behind all that glamour, there's a story filled with secrets, tension, and sacrifices that almost no one talks about? Today, we're diving into the untold side of Andrea Legarreta's luxurious life in 2025. Because behind the perfect smile of Mexico's most beloved TV host lies a world that's much more complex than it seems. Yes, she's still the queen of Mexican television. But did you know her empire wasn't built on talent alone? Whispers of secret contracts, family conflicts over money, and rivalries with major TV figures have surrounded her for years. And her breakup with Eric Rubin? It wasn't as peaceful as the headlines claimed. Ready to hear what really happened? And no, this isn't just another celebrity fluff piece. What you're about to discover has never been shown like this. Stick with us until the end, because the final reveal about her lifestyle will absolutely blow your mind. But first, let me ask you something. What would you sacrifice for fame, power, and a life of unimaginable luxury? Would you stay true to yourself if it meant risking everything? Think about it, because Andrea's story might just reflect what many stars live through silently. Andrea Legarreta, a name etched in the collective memory of Mexico. Born in the heart of Mexico City in 1971, her life was never ordinary. From a very young age, she radiated a kind of energy, a presence that was impossible to ignore. It wasn't just charm, it was magnetic. While other kids were playing, Andrea was dreaming bigger. But it wasn't easy. She came from a middle-class family. Her parents weren't connected to the entertainment industry. Still, they believed in her. And that belief would change everything. She started with commercials and kids' beauty pageants. But Andrea wasn't just another cute face. Her screen presence was captivating. Producers saw something special in her. And not long after, she was landing small roles in Mexican TV, her gateway to what would become an extraordinary career. Her big break came in the world of telenovelas. But her ultimate rise to fame, that happened on the morning talk shows. Andrea didn't just host a show, she became the face of morning television in Mexico. For years, millions of people woke up to her voice, her energy, her presence. But what happens behind the scenes is rarely as polished as what you see on camera. Andrea knew how to play the game. While many female stars faded with time, she endured. And that wasn't luck. That was strategy. Some say it was her charisma. Others say it was her bulletproof contracts. Her long-standing partnership with Televisa, the most powerful network in Latin America, became the bedrock of her financial empire. Exclusive contracts, performance bonuses, merchandising deals, VIP events, Andrea had it all. And she knew how to use it. Estimates say her net worth in 2025 is somewhere between $10 and $15 million. But again, it's not just about how much she has. It's about how she got it. Andrea didn't just rely on television. She invested smart. Real estate in prime areas of Mexico City, high-end rental properties, home design projects, quiet moves with massive payoffs. While others flaunted their wealth, Andrea built hers behind the scenes carefully, strategically. But not everything was picture perfect. Her marriage to Eric Rubin was once the envy of the entertainment world. A music star and a TV icon? They were the power couple. But behind the smiles, cracks were forming. Sources close to the couple have hinted for years that the pressures of fame, ego clashes, and media scrutiny were tearing them apart. The divorce. It wasn't peaceful. It wasn't mutual. At least, that's what some insiders say. And if you look closely, there were signs. Subtle changes in her public appearances. Cryptic statements in interviews. Financial moves that didn't make sense at the time, but now paint a different picture. And it doesn't stop there. In the TV world, competition is brutal. And Andrea's long reign hasn't been without controversy. Rumors of tension with other hosts, backdoor negotiations and power plays have swirled around her for years. Some say she blocked rival projects. Others claim she demanded conditions that caused friction behind the scenes. So let me ask you this: if you had worked your whole life to build something, would you let anyone threaten it? Would you play nice? Or would you do whatever it takes to protect your legacy? Tell me in the comments. Because this isn't just Andrea's story. It's a look into how fame really works and the price people pay to stay on top. Her daughters, Mia and Mina, are already stepping into the spotlight. One shows talent in music, the other in acting. Andrea's their biggest supporter. But not everyone thinks it's fair. Some critics say her name opened doors her daughters didn't earn. So, is that nepotism? Or is it just smart parenting in a competitive world? What's clear is this: Andrea's turned her family into a brand. Her image as a mother, a hard-working woman, and an untouchable star, it's all part of the plan. And every step seems perfectly calculated, because in her world, nothing is left to chance. You see her on screen and think you know her. But what if I told you the real Andrea is someone else entirely? What if the luxurious life she lives now came at a price most people couldn't imagine paying? Keep watching, because we're just getting started. In the next part, we'll show you Andrea's most jaw-dropping properties, her wildest luxury expenses, her business ventures, and a shocking secret about her lifestyle that has never been revealed before. But before we go, drop a comment. What surprised you the most so far? What do you think is behind her flawless public image? Hit that like button if you're hooked. Subscribe if you want more stories like this. And if you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. It truly helps us keep digging deeper and bringing you the untold truth behind the glam. But most importantly, stay tuned, because what comes next might change everything you thought you knew. She was a television star, but her real empire was built in silence. While cameras captured her smiling every morning, behind the scenes was a strategic mind, turning every second of screen time into millions. Literally. Andrea didn't just shine in front of the audience. She understood the game and played it like few others. While many celebrities blew their fortunes on unnecessary luxury and headline-grabbing scandals, she did the opposite. She invested. But not just anywhere. Beauty, wellness, and health weren't just interests, they were billion-dollar industries. Can you imagine owning an aesthetic clinic with your name on it and having appointments booked for months? Andrea can. And not just one. She owns wellness centers that run like Swiss watches. Why? Because she knew exactly what people want: to feel good, look good, and live better. And she delivered it her way. But the real secret isn't where she invested. It's how she did it. Andrea was never the type of celebrity to show off. Despite her comfortable lifestyle, she was always cautious. Never flashy. Never needed to be. While others bought mansions they couldn't maintain, she did something entirely different. Every peso she earned had a purpose. And behind her, a team of top-tier financial advisors hand-picked by her. Because yes, Andrea didn't blindly hand things over. She participated in every decision, studied markets, asked questions, did her homework, and most importantly, she decided. How many celebrities do you know who actually do that? And it wasn't about ego. It was about something far more powerful: her daughters. Every move, every strategy had one goal: to secure a future free of financial fear for them. Would you do the same if you were in her place? That's why, even when the country's economy wobbled, she lost nothing. Her lifestyle never dipped. Not because of luck, but because she had prepared for the storm. Her house isn't just luxurious. It's a fortress. Located in one of Mexico City's most exclusive neighborhoods, it's equipped with cutting-edge tech, manicured gardens, a private gourmet area, a fully equipped gym, and a pool straight out of a Hollywood movie. But the most striking part? She doesn't flaunt it. She just lives there quietly. Her car. Luxury, yes. but practical, comfortable, safe. Like everything in her life, functional but beautiful. But what's truly fascinating isn't what she owns, it's how she earned it. Because her television career was more than just appearing on screen. Andrea built a symbiotic relationship with Televisa. She started young, like many others. But she didn't sit back and let fame do all the work. From day one, she saw each appearance as an investment. Every contract, an opportunity. Her peak came with the morning show Hoy. She became the show's anchor and stayed for over 20 years. Do you know how rare that is in today's fast-changing TV world? While faces rotate every 6 months, Andrea stayed. And not by chance, but because she worked. Televisa knew her worth. That's why her contract was one of the highest in the entire network. We're talking monthly paychecks with bonuses, exclusivity clauses, spots in institutional campaigns. She even influenced the show's editorial direction. She wasn't just a presenter, she was the face of the network. And that's when the brands came knocking. At first, just a few. But soon, it became a flood. Andrea didn't just represent products, she sold them. Her image built trust. And brands noticed. Colgate, Nestlé, Danone, Garnier, Pantene, they all wanted her. Not once. Every year. But what set Andrea apart? She didn't just sign deals. She got involved. Sat in on creative meetings. Asked about the product's purpose. And if it didn't feel right, she turned it down. That level of authenticity paid off. When Andrea endorsed something, people believed her. And when she recommended a product, sales went up. Period. Then came the digital era. For many celebrities, it was a nightmare. For Andrea, an opportunity. She expanded her digital presence naturally, without losing her identity. And in doing so, unlocked an entirely new stream of income. More lucrative than ever. She began promoting brands on her social platforms. But not just that. She became a regular face at private events, product launches, red carpets hosted by brands like MAC, Sephora, and Carolina Herrera. And they all shared something in common: elegance, style, and a luxury that felt attainable. Just like Andrea. Every public appearance was carefully planned. Nothing was random. And all of it led to one thing: more exposure, more contracts, more influence. And then, she made the boldest move yet. She began featuring her daughters in campaigns. But not in a fake or forced way. These were ads that celebrated family bonds. Campaigns aimed at moms, kids, teenagers. From cosmetics to educational toys. And it worked. Why? Because they weren't actors. They were a real mother and her real daughters. And the audience could tell. Brands realized something huge: authenticity sells. And Andrea didn't just show up. She lived every campaign. She was the story. Her career extended far beyond the morning show. She appeared in soap operas, films, talk shows, always respected, always admired. And every appearance reinforced one thing: her status in the hearts of the people. She never needed drama to get attention. Never needed to show off. Her version of luxury was quiet, refined, a lifestyle admired by many, but flaunted by none. And that, more than any deal or campaign, is what made her a living legend of Mexican television. But there's still one part of Andrea's story that almost no one knows. One that could completely change how you see her. Are you ready to hear it? Then drop a comment below what surprised you most about Andrea's story. Her financial smarts? Her brand deals? Her family-first mindset? I want to hear your thoughts. And if you're enjoying this video, hit that like button right now. It's the best way to support the channel and help more people uncover the untold stories behind TV's most iconic figures. But don't go anywhere, because what's coming next is the most shocking chapter yet. A chapter that nearly ended everything. But maybe the most shocking part of this entire story has nothing to do with fashion, travel, or luxury. The most moving thing is understanding why Andrea lives the way she does. Why her home isn't just a beautifully decorated space, but a carefully designed sanctuary to protect her mental balance. Why behind every linen curtain, every aromatic candle, every softly lit corner, there's a story that not many people know. Have you ever wondered what drives someone to live with such attention to detail? It's not vanity. It's emotional survival. Andrea hasn't always had this perfect life we see on social media. In fact, for years, she lived under a pressure that nearly broke her. A pressure that didn't just come from the media, but from herself. Because when you grow up admired by millions, you also become the target of a million expectations. And that is heavy. Maybe that's why her home is a sanctuary. Because she needs that space to breathe when everything else becomes too much. Maybe that's why she takes such care of her skin, her body, her surroundings, because it's the only way she's found to feel in control. And what's most beautiful is that, in the middle of all that, she never stopped thinking about others. Most people don't know this, but Andrea has been key in environmental awareness campaigns, supporting sustainable brands and promoting conscious consumerism. Who else, with unlimited access to luxury, chooses to consume consciously? Who else uses their influence to build a bridge between glamour and responsibility? That says a lot about her character. And above all, her evolution. Because Andrea is no longer chasing just looking good. She's chasing living well. And that pursuit has led her to surround herself with art, culture, music, but also with simple moments. A piece of fine chocolate after a long day. A family dinner with no cameras. A solo drive in silence. Those small rituals are what keep her soul connected to what really matters. And if you thought her passion for music was just a cute detail, think again. For Andrea, music was, and is her first emotional language. Since childhood, it's been her refuge, her safe space. And now, it's the bridge that connects her to the most important part of her life, her daughters. Especially with Mia, who inherited not just her sensitivity, but that inner fire that turns emotions into songs. Andrea has witnessed the birth of an artist. Not from a distance, but from the emotional trenches. Supporting, holding, guiding. And that's not something every mother does. That's what a woman does who has understood through her own scars that art is not just learned. It's felt. It's suffered. It's loved. And yes, we could talk about her endless closet, her Hermes bags, her Jimmy Choo shoes. But what really touches the heart is how, in the middle of all that, she's still a woman who gets emotional watching her daughter sing. A woman who claps with tears in her eyes when Mia steps on stage. And who knows that sometimes, the greatest act of love is stepping aside so someone else can shine. Andrea didn't steal the spotlight. She built it for someone else. Isn't that the most beautiful thing a mother can do? Behind her elegance is a story of silent devotion, of unconditional love, of hard decisions. Because it hasn't all been easy. There have been nights when the noise of success became unbearable. Moments when luxury brought no comfort. Times when anxiety couldn't be calmed by essential oils or spa treatments. But Andrea learned how to walk through those shadows with grace. To ask for help when needed. To say no when the world expected a yes. And above all, to show that the real luxury is peace. The kind of peace you can't buy, rent, or show off. The kind you build with brave choices. With healthy boundaries. With self-love. Today, Andrea doesn't just represent an aspirational image. She represents a new way of understanding success. One that isn't measured by the price of a bag, but by the depth of the soul. One that combines beauty with awareness, style with sensitivity, fame with humanity. And that is priceless. If you've made it this far, let me ask you something. Do you also believe that the real luxury is feeling good in your own skin? Would you like to live in a world where fame also educates, inspires, and transforms? Then drop a comment below telling us which part of Andrea's story surprised you the most. Was it her quiet support for her daughter? Her commitment to the environment? Or the way she lives luxury with empathy? Your opinion can inspire others. And who knows, maybe together, we can start appreciating new ways of shining. If this video touched your heart, don't forget to leave a like and share it with someone who needs a little inspiration today. And if you want to keep discovering stories of people who live with style, soul, and purpose, don't miss the next video on the channel. I promise what's coming will leave you speechless. Because sometimes, the most powerful stories aren't shouted. They're lived in silence. And Andrea is the perfect example of that. See you in the next video.